Today's lesson is called Monkeying Around with Words. Hello everyone, my name is Jeff.
My name is Roger, and today we are going to talk about animal verbs, okay? Usually the words for animals are nouns, but sometimes they can be used as verbs, and there are quite a few of them in the English language. They're mostly slang terms. They're not usually formal terms, but they're fun to learn nevertheless.
Yeah, hear the title. That's kind of funny. Monkeying around with words. A monkey. We all know what a monkey is. It's an animal. It's a primate. Something like that. It's a noun, okay? Or the word monkey, I should say, is a noun. But we've turned this word into a verb to use it in a different way, in different situations. To monkey around with something is to mess around with that thing. And by the way, monkeys generally make a mess of things when they do stuff. So when you're monkeying around, you're messing around and also making a mess of things. Anyways, folks, with that, it's time for us to take a short break. But when we come back, we will be verbing some nouns.
Monkeying around with words. Many animals are known for their distinctive behaviors. Over time, we've converted the names of these animals into verbs that reflect those behaviors. These animal verbs are a fun feature of English and a great way to liven up your speech or writing.
大家好，第一部分我们看到片语 liven up 表示使活跃、生动起来，像是Sheila will liven up the party when she gets here. Sheila 抵达这里时就会炒热整个派对。或是 The teacher tried to get her tired students to liven up. 老师试着要让他疲累的学生振作起来。另外补充一个相关片语 brighten up 表示使增添光彩，使充满生气，使开心起来。例如 Taking a walk when you feel sad can help brighten up your day. 难过的时候散散步可以让你一天的心情变好。
Okay, as promised, we're going to verb some nouns today, or use nouns, animal nouns, as verbs. So here in the first paragraph it says, many animals are known for their distinctive behaviors. This is true. Animals behave in different ways. Dogs, for example, are friendly and exciting, and cats are kind of cold and antisocial. You get the idea. They have very distinctive behaviors. Distinctive means something that we can tell apart from something else. People have distinctive personalities. Some people are outgoing and vivacious and gregarious, while other people are kind of inward and shy and introverted.
There you go. Some people say that no two snowflakes are exactly alike, which means they all have their own distinctive characteristics. You can always tell one snowflake from another until it melts and turns into like a drop of water. But I digress. Many animals, yes, are known for their distinctive behaviors. By the way, when we're talking about behavior, we're talking about how you behave in a certain situation, in a set of circumstances, okay? Now, you can also use the word behavior, okay, to talk about how you acted in one of those situations. So, distinctive behaviors, the ways that these animals act in different situations. Anyways, moving forward, over time, we've converted the names of these animals into verbs that reflect those behaviors. Okay, so yes, we are going to be verbing some nouns, and most of these nouns, well, they are going to be animal names that have been transferred or changed over time into verbs. Like we already have one example, to monkey around. Monkey is the noun. to monkey around would be the verb phrase.
Exactly. And so these animal verbs are a fun feature of English and a great way to liven up your speech or writing. Indeed, they are colorful expressions that you can use in your essays or in conversations with your friends. And if you use these verb phrases with animal verbs, hey, they're going to think you're very clever and you're going to have a great conversation. You're going to laugh like donkeys.
Oh, gosh. You know what? That was kind of funny. You're going to laugh like donkeys. Ha, ha, ha. But otherwise, this conversation has been kind of boring, kind of dull. We need to liven things up. Like sometimes you go to a party and it's boring. Nothing is going on. Well, you should be the life of the party then. Get things going. Turn on the stereo. Start people dancing. Get a conga line going. You get the idea. If you liven up a party, you make sure that everybody at that party is having a good time. You make sure that that party comes alive, so to speak. All right, folks, with that, it is time for us to take a short break. But when we come back, we'll be talking about pigs.
For example, pigs are distinguished for their insatiable appetites. Their stomachs are like bottomless pits, and they're often found with their noses planted in a trough of food. That's why the phrase pig out means to eat a large amount of food. If you've ever pigged out at an all-you-can-eat buffet, you're not alone. Chickens, on the other hand, have a reputation for being nervous and fearful. Walk into a barn full of these birds, and they're likely to run away, flapping and squawking. As far as humans are concerned, we often chicken out when we're presented with an embarrassing or dangerous task. For instance, we might chicken out of giving a public speech or going bungee jumping.
第二部分我们看到单字 insatiable 这个字是形容词，指无法满足的，贪得无厌的。像是 Kevin has an insatiable appetite for literature. Kevin 对文学有股无法满足的爱好。或是 James had an insatiable thirst for knowledge, causing him to read every book in the library. James 对知识有着无法满足的渴望，促使他阅读图书馆内所有的书籍。再来，我们看到动词 squawk 指发出刺耳尖叫声，有指禽类咯咯叫，大声抱怨。例如Olivia's bird squawked when I entered her room. 当我踏进 Olivia 的房间，她养的鸟咯咯大叫。或是 The protesters squawk about the new policy. 抗议群众大声反对新政策。接着我们看到片语 as far as 加名词 be concerned 表示对点点点而言，说到点点点。像是 As far as I'm concerned, any type of meal is fine if it's not too greasy. 对我而言，只要不是太油，什么种类的餐点都可以。或是 As far as the car is concerned, we should leave it at home and take the train into the city. 关于这辆车，我们应该把它留在家，然后搭火车进城去。另外补充几个包含 concern 的片语。第一 show concern for somebody or something 表示对某人事物表达关心。举例来说 Everyone must do their part to show more concern for the environment. 每个人都应该尽一己之力更关心环境。第二 be of great concern to somebody 表示令点点点担忧的点点点，与点点点有利害关系的。例如 Tom's grades in school are of great concern to his parents. Tom 的在校成绩让父母很担心。第三 be concerned with 表示涉及，与点点点有关。我们可以说The sales department isn't concerned with the details of product manufacturing. 业务部与产品制造的细节无关。
Okay, as promised, we're going to talk about pig, and we're going to be using it as a verb. So, for example, here, when we talk about livening up your conversation or converting the names of animals into verbs, well, this is an example. Pigs are distinguished for their insatiable appetites. Okay, appetite, of course, means you have the desire to eat food. So, yeah, when we talk about someone being fat and enjoying eating a lot and going to all-you-can-eat buffets and things like that, we say they eat like a pig, or they have an appetite like a pig. But here we're going to use the word pig as a verb because pigs have insatiable appetites. And insatiable means it's almost impossible to satisfy their hunger.
There you go. Now, you can be sated or you might be satiated, and that means you're satisfied. You've got enough of something. But on the other hand, yes, if you are insatiable, there's never going to be enough of that thing for you. So pigs, yes, they're known for eating and eating and eating. They're hungry all the time. They have insatiable appetites. Now, their stomachs are like bottomless pits, it says next, and they're often found with their noses planted in a trough of food. Yes, their stomachs are like bottomless pits. Gosh, you can keep throwing food in there. It will never fill up. Just like a bottomless pit will never fill up these stomachs. Wow, they just will fit more and more food in them. And also, on top of that, if you want an image of a pig, well, think of this. Think of a pig in its pen, and you'll usually also think of that pig with its nose planted or stuffed into a trough of food chowing down. At least that's the image I normally get of a pig.
Trough is kind of a long rectangular container that pigs eat from. So that's why the phrase pig out means to eat a large amount of food. So yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking about here. To pig out. Yeah, we use this always with the preposition out, to pig out. Boy, I'm starving. I'm really going to pig out after work today.
Now, if you've ever pigged out at an all-you-can-eat restaurant, or an all-you-can-eat buffet, I should say, you're not alone. Yeah, I have eaten at one of these types of restaurants, one of these buffets, but it says you're not alone. What are they getting at here, Roger? Are they saying that I'm a pig, in a sense, because I've pigged out at an all-you-can-eat buffet?
They might be saying that indeed, but all-you-can-eat buffets are quite common out there. Not every restaurant has this service, but most of us have been to an all-you-can-eat buffet, and we've probably eaten more than we should have, and we probably gained a few pounds the next day as a result. So yeah, you don't need to feel alone. You don't need to feel particularly guilty about this, but yeah, you should avoid those things because if you go to an all-you-can-eat buffet, it's very hard not to pig out. Okay, now that's the word pig there. Let's move on to a chicken, a friendly, harmless chicken that eats seeds and clucks in the farmyard there. Chickens, on the other hand, have a reputation for being nervous and fearful. So I guess that's their distinctive personality. Yeah, if you go to a chicken farm and you walk close to the chickens, ooh, they walk around really quickly from left to right. They dart here and there. So yeah, they seem like they're nervous and they're fearful. They're afraid of things.
You're a chicken, Roger. What does that mean in English? You're a chicken. That means you are a coward. Yeah, don't call somebody a chicken in English. Chances are they're not going to like that at all. So anyways, chickens, on the other hand, have a reputation for being nervous and fearful. They're not friendly like pigs are, although I haven't met all that many friendly pigs, but chickens do have a reputation for being cowards. They're nervous and fearful. Oh my goodness, this is their reputation. This is what people commonly or normally believe about chickens.
Indeed, they are nervous and fearful. So yeah, walk into a barn full of these birds and they're likely to run away, flapping and squawking. So here we've got the word squawk as a verb. That just refers to the sound that birds make as a verb here, to squawk. Chickens will squawk or crows will squawk like ha, ha, ha. That's kind of a squawking sound. And they'll also flap their wings like they're chickens, okay? They need to get a life. They're very shameless that way.
There you go. Yeah, chickens. What cowards. Oh, my goodness. Anyways, as far as humans are concerned, we often chicken out. That's the phrase, to chicken out. We often chicken out when we're presented with an embarrassing or dangerous task. Yeah, you're not man enough to do something, so you chicken out. You're not bold, courageous, so on, so forth. You are a big chicken, or you chicken out. That's the verb phrase. Anyways, as far as humans are concerned, we're using this phrase to make it clear that this is where we're connecting the verb phrase chicken out to humans, to how humans might chicken out. Instances thereof. And yes, humans often chicken out when they're presented with something they either don't want to do or when they think that something is dangerous. Now, this thing that they don't want to do, they might not want to do it because this particular thing is embarrassing to them.
Yeah, you will feel embarrassed if you do that. That's how you feel. You feel embarrassed because of an embarrassing situation. So yeah, if you have something to do that you don't really know how to do and you kind of look foolish, yeah, it could be quite embarrassing. So you might chicken out. Nah, I don't want to do it. I don't want to look stupid. So for instance, for example, we might chicken out of giving a public speech or going bungee jumping, which can be quite fearful. It's not something that's easy to do. Bungee jumping or skydiving. My goodness, I would chicken out if somebody took me up in an airplane and told me to jump out.
You big chicken, I can't believe you chicken out. I would jump out of a plane, no problem, at a moment's notice, because I'm a real man. A real tough man. Actually, no, I would not jump out of a plane. That's crazy and suicidal. Anyways, folks, with that, let's go ahead and take a short break. But when we come back, we'll be wrapping up the first part of our article on monkeying around with words.
Finally, have you ever been outwitted by a tricky person or confused by a difficult problem? If so, then you've been foxed. Foxes may not be strong, but they're clever and always doing something tricky, such as sneaking into a barn and stealing the chickens.
最后第三部分，我们看到一个单字 sneak， 这个字是动词，指偷偷溜进、前行、鬼鬼祟祟。像是 The boys tried to sneak in the back door of the movie theater。那群男孩试图偷偷溜进电影院的后门。另外补充一个相关片语 sneak preview， 表示抢先看。例如 While the movie has not premiered across the nation yet, some audiences will get a sneak preview this weekend。虽然那部电影还没有在全国首映，有一些观众在本周末就可以抢先看。
Okay, now, of course, there are different situations when we let our guards down and we might not know what we're doing. In those particular cases, we might be outwitted by a tricky person. So yeah, finally, have you ever been outwitted by a tricky person or confused by a difficult problem? So here, if you're outwitted or outsmarted by somebody, that just means they were smarter than you. They looked smart and intelligent. You looked dumb and foolish.
There you go. This person was clever. You were not. I think now we're going to be talking about foxes. Let's see if I'm right about that. The next sentence says, if so, then you've been foxed or outfoxed. By the way, foxes may not be strong, but they're clever and always doing something tricky, such as sneaking into a barn and stealing the chickens. And they're also known at fooling humans. There's a phrase in English, stupid like a fox, i.e., wow, that fox just did something silly. It did something stupid, except what they did was actually quite clever and ingenious. Anyways, foxes, I have heard, are great at sneaking into places. If you sneak into a place, you quietly try to enter a place without being detected. And here's the important part. You're not supposed to be there, and at the same time, you are probably up to no good. All right, folks, with that, it's time for us to take a break, but don't go away. The Chinese teacher is waiting in the wings.
各位同学大家好，我是 Hanny， 我们来看今天的文法重点。好，课文第二部分先介绍了 pick out 这个片语，表示暴饮暴食。毕竟猪是出了名的爱吃嘛，它们以无法满足的食欲而闻名。好，接着课文写到说 Chickens on the other hand have a reputation for being nervous and fearful. 另一方面，鸡有着紧张和害怕的名声。好，句子里面是用到副词片语 on the other hand， 表示另一方面，它可以摆在句首或是句中，用来引出另一个跟前面叙述有差异或是对比的状况。像课文前面是提到猪的状况，然后接着他用 on the other hand 来引出鸡的状况。好，例如 Mary is a cheerful person.Her sister, on the other hand, is quite moody. Mary 是个性格开朗的人，另一方面，她的姐姐则是很情绪化。好，那么 on the other hand 前面也常常搭配 on the one hand 来表达一方面怎么样，另一方面怎么样。那这是用来引出两种不同或相反的观点或是事实。例如 on the one hand, he wants to spend more time with his family.But on the other hand, he has to work overtime to earn more money. 一方面呢，他想多花点时间陪伴家人，但另一方面，他必须得加班才能赚更多的钱。好，课文下一句写到说，走进一间满是鸡的谷仓 ，They are likely to run away, flapping and squawking. 他们很可能会拍着翅膀，咕咕咕的叫，四处逃窜。好，那这边要介绍的是 likely 的句型。likely 当形容词是表达可能的，那它的前面可以加上 more、less 或是 very 等等去修饰。好，常用的句型有两种，第一种是It is likely 加 that 子句，其中的 that 可以省略不用。例如 It's likely that Katie will turn down the job offer. Katie 很有可能会谢绝那个工作机会，谢绝那一份工作。那么第二个句型是主词 be likely to 加原形动词，像刚刚的例句可以改写成 Katie is likely to turn down the job offer. 那我们再来造个例句 No one is more likely to win the competition than Jake. 没有人比 Jake 更有可能赢得那场比赛，也就是说 Jake 是最有可能赢的。好，那我们再补充一个句型是 Chances are that 主词加动词，也可以用来表达有可能怎么样，有机会怎么样。那这个句型是用来表达某件事它发生的几率很高。只是要特别注意说 chances 在这边呢，它是指可能性或是机会，固定要用复数型哦。例如 Chances are that the concert will be cancelled because of the storm. 那场演唱会很有可能因为暴风雨而被取消。好，以上是今天重点整理，我们来回顾今天的单字吧。
Distinctive. Cooking meat over a fire gives it a distinctive smoky flavor. Behavior.George traveled to Africa to study the behavior of wild elephants. Reputation. Sophie has a reputation for being a hard worker because she always stays late at the office. Embarrassing. Susie blushed when Michael asked her an embarrassing question. Sneak. Arriving home late, John tried to sneak past his parents to avoid waking them.
Well, everyone, today's article has come to an end, and I sure hope you guys enjoyed reading and learning along with us. I am Jeff.
I am Roger. See you next time.